Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Daniel, and today in this video we'll be covering my first round game in the Horse and Buggy Tournament, which I played last weekend. So in this first game, I'm playing against a 2000 rated CFC opponent. I'm playing the black pieces, and let's see what happened. So e4, c5, and we go into a Rossalimo with bishop e5, g6. All typical opening moves, nothing really special here. Here I play knight c7 to counteract when knight e4 comes. I can play knight e6 to defend this pawn. Bishop e3. Here I play d6 to defend the pawn. In general, this position's around equal. h3 is a mistake here. I do have the move f5, which I actually didn't see at all. The reason why I have f5 is because, let's say, after knight e2, g5, I have the move knight c7. This move looks like it doesn't do anything. However, if given the opportunity, I can play the move h6 and actually trap this knight. Queen to b3 check looks like it can make the knight get out, but after knight to d5, this knight is fully trapped. So here instead I play queen e7, knight to g5. Here I play rook f to d8. Better here again would have been to play f5. After knight captures on e6, bishop captures on e6, and knight into g5. Here I should play the move f4, force the bishop back to d2, and here I actually have queen captures on g5. So after f4, knight takes, queen takes, and bishop to d2. Here I have f3, I can continue to push forwards. If you play g3, then after queen captures on h3, this is going to be checkmate most likely. And if you take, well then your pawn structure on the king side is ruined. I can simply play queen captures on h3. So going back, queen e7, instead I play this, bishop to g5, f6, and here I play c4. The idea with c4 is to try to damage up the structure here in the center. If you play d4, which my opponent played, here I have bishop captures on h3, knight takes, queen takes, and g captures on h3, and white has these two split pawns on the king side. Alternatively, here if you take, then here after bishop captures on c4, I'm attacking the rook and attacking the knight. And if you just leave this, and let's say you play something like queen to d2, and after c captures on d3, queen captures on d3, then here I actually have bishop to f5, just simply pinning and winning the knight. f3 defends, but I simply have d5 to attack the knight again. So after c5, here we went into this variation, and here I played d5. The reason why I played d5 is because, as you can see, we both have a dark squared bishop. And I noticed that, at this point, I'm trying to get it into a dark squared bishop endgame by trading off the major pieces when necessary. And this is d5 because, as you can see, when we have dark squared bishops, I want to put all my pawns on light squares so that my opponent's bishop can't get to them. Which is why I played d5, and as you can see, 5 out of the 6 of my pawns are on light squares, and this pawn can simply go to a6 and it would be on a light square. So here, queen to g4, rook e8, and here just a little bit of shuffling, and here I managed to get control of the e file and double up here. After bishop d7, I play rook e4, rook e1, and then I trade. I was hoping here that he would take with the queen, because then at this point after queen takes, bishop takes, and I have bishop h6 to try to get in and attack these pawns. However, my opponent, credit to him, played bishop captures on e1. I play queen to e6, attacking the pawn on h3, king h2, queen to e4, bishop d2. Here I play bishop f8. My idea is, let's say you play queen a4, attack these two pawns. Then after something like bishop to d6 check, king to g1, then maybe I have some chances for an attack. Say queen e2, for example, queen captures on c6. Then here I can play bishop h2 check, king takes, and queen takes on then here I have queen takes on f7 to bail into a draw, which isn't really what I'm hoping for, but that's a variation I calculated. Alternatively, if you play something like queen captures on a7, let's say, here, so queen e3, let's say queen captures on a7, then here I do have something like queen d1 check to pick up this bishop. So bishop f8, here queen g4, I give a check, force the king back. Note here, my opponent won't play f4 to sort of block the trade of queens, because I simply here have the move h5, queen to g3, then here I can play the move, here I have the move king f7, to simply defend this pawn. So that let's say you play a random move like h3, then here I have queen to c2, pinning this bishop and probably winning this pawn, and this pawn will probably become a queen. So here my opponent plays king to g1, I trade, and at this point I have, as you can see, I have the dark square bishop endgame, and I'm slightly better in this case because my pawns are already on light squares. So here it's just a matter of seeing if I can try to maybe push for a win, and this is sort of the critical thing. I played a5 accident because my idea was to get it to a4. Let's say you play a3, and if I get my pawn to a4, then objectively this is a draw, but practically speaking there are still chances for me. Let's say we trade here, then here my king can get in, this bishop can get active at some point, and then maybe I'm able to get to these pawns. Unfortunately, I forgot that my opponent also has to play a move here, and they play a4, and at this point all hopes of a win are gone because this pawn is going to be the sole weakness that I have to take care of the whole game. I should have probably considered a6. That was another move I could have considered. Then after something like a4, for example, then just slowly start trying to make any improving moves, maybe get my king around, play c5, and then maybe try to sneak in and get to these pawns. Anyways, after a5, I play bishop d8, and here we just slowly shuffle a bit, and at this point, we ended up doing a threefold repetition and agreeing to a draw. So not the best technique on my part in this game. I had some winning chances early on with the move f5, which I didn't really see. And also, I shouldn't have committed this weakness here on a5. But other than that, besides from that, still a pretty smooth game in general. Still drew a 2000, which is, I believe, what my rating strength is around currently, if not higher. And yeah, so I hope you all enjoyed this game, and thanks for watching.